Hello class 8 students, welcome everyone. So in this video we will be discussing some of the short answer type questions from the chapter force and pressure. So let's begin then. Question number 1. Define state of motion. Define a state of motion of an object and name the agent which can change the state of motion of an object. Okay. So if you have written the answer of this question, then no need to write it again, and if you have not written, then just write it in your science notebook. Okay, so what is the state of motion then? State of motion of an object is described by its speed and the direction of motion. Okay, state of motion of an object is described by its speed and direction of motion, and a change in either the speed of an object or a change in direction of its motion, or if both speed of an object and direction of motion of the object is changed, or both is changed, then it is called a change in its state of motion. Clear? Okay. And what is the agent which can change the state of motion of an object? The agent is force. Okay, with the help of force only you can change we can change the state of motion of an object. Okay, so this is the answer of the first question, question number 1. Next, what is meant by saying that force is due to an interaction? Okay, this is the answer. Force is due to an interaction. It means that an interaction of one object with another object results in a force between the two objects. If more than one object, say two objects, at least two objects must interact. Okay, there should be an interaction between at least the two objects. So an interaction of one object with another object results in a force between the two objects, and at least two objects must interact with each other. Okay, at least two objects must interact with each other for a force to come into play and show its effect. And if there is no interaction between the two objects, no force can show its effect. Okay. Next question. In a tug of war, when two teams are pulling the rope, a stage comes when the rope does not move to either side at all. Okay, you have understood this line. So in a tug of war game, when two teams are pulling the rope and a stage will come, suppose a stage will come that the rope does not move to either side at all. So what can you say about the magnitude and direction of the forces being applied to the rope by the two teams at this stage? What can you say about the magnitude of the forces being applied to the rope? See, you have to write, since at a stage the rope does not move to either side, then the forces applied to an object are equal in magnitude. Okay. The two equal forces are applied by the two teams from both the sides of the rope. Okay, and the net force acting on the rope is what? 0, because the rope is neither moving. The rope is not moving, right? So the two forces are applied by the two teams will be equal in magnitude, and the net force is acting on the rope is 0. Okay, and what about the direction? The forces being applied to the rope by the two teams is in opposite directions. Okay, you can pause the video and you can note it down all the answers. Next question. What is a force? What is force? And state the various effects of force. Here is the answer. A push or pull on an object is called force. Simply, a push or pull on an object is called as what? Force. Okay, and the various effects of force are, see, force may make an object move from rest. Okay, you know this. A force can make an object move from rest. Force may change the speed of an object also. Okay, force may change the direction of motion of an object also. Right. Suppose if an object is moving, then the force can be applied on that object to change the direction. Right. Force may bring about a change in the shape of an object. Lastly. Okay, force may bring about a change in the shape of an object. Okay, a force can change the shape of an object also. So this is the answer of question number 4. Next, these are very easy questions, one line answers. Give one example where force moves a stationary object. The force of kick makes a stationary football move, right? You have understood this line? You have to give one example where force moves a stationary object. Suppose the football is at rest, suppose the football is at a stationary position, then if you kick, then the force of the kick makes a stationary football move. Okay, next question number 6. Give one example where force stops a moving object. Again, you see the force applied by the goalkeeper makes the moving football stop, right? Understood this also? Next question, question number 7. Give one example where force changes the speed of a moving object. Here you see the force applied by a hockey player on a moving ball changes the speed of the ball, right? Hockey players are playing the match, right? So if a hockey player is applying force on the moving ball with its stick, then what happens? It can change the speed of the ball. Okay, next question number 8. Give one example where force changes the direction of a moving ball. Here you see the force applied by a batsman changes the direction of the moving cricket ball. If the batsman will hit the moving ball, then it can change the direction of the moving ball. Clear? Next question, what is muscular force? Give one example of a muscular force. Simply the answer, the force exerted by the muscles of the body is only called as what? Muscular force. And the example is, you see the weightlifter is using muscular force to lift the weights, right? Clear? Next question, what is meant by the gravitational force or force of gravity? Give its one example. Okay, here the answer is, you see, okay, the answer you see, the force with which the earth pulls the object towards it is called as gravitational force or the force of gravity. Here I have not written the example. You can write the example by yourself also, or I will just dictate it to you. That the example is, say suppose when an apple falls from a tree, it is the force of gravity which brings the apple to earth. Okay, again I am repeating the example. When an apple falls from a tree, it is the force of gravity which brings the apple to earth, down to earth. Okay, which brings the apple down to earth. Okay, this is the example of the gravitational force, or say force of gravity. Next question, question number 11. Why does a sharp knife cut objects more effectively than a blunt knife? You have understood the question, right? Why does a sharp knife cut objects more effectively than a blunt knife? That means why a sharp knife cuts better than a blunt knife. You know that a sharp knife has a very thin edge to its blade, right? A sharp knife has very thin edge to its blade. So a sharp knife cuts objects, say vegetables, fruits, etc. better. A sharp knife cuts objects better. Why? Because due to its very thin edge. Okay, so the force of our hand falls over a very small area of the object, producing large pressure. Okay, the force of our hand falls over a very small area of the object, producing a large pressure in case of a sharp knife. Okay, and this large pressure cuts the object very easily. On the other hand, a blunt knife has a thicker edge, right? A blunt knife has a thick edge. So a blunt knife does not cut an object easily because due to its thicker edge. Okay, and the force of our hand falls over a larger area of the object and produces lesser pressure. So this lesser pressure cuts the object with difficulty. That is why a sharp knife cuts objects more effectively than a blunt knife. Clear? Next question. Explain why. Okay. This is the last question. Yes, this is the last question from the short answer type questions category. Question number 12. Explain why porters place a thick round piece of cloth on their heads when they have to carry heavy loads. You have understood the question? Why porters place a thick round piece of cloth on their heads when they have to carry heavy loads? The answer to this question, you can say that by placing the thick round piece of cloth, the porters increase the area of contact of the load with their head. Okay, by placing the thick round piece of cloth, the porters increase the area of contact of the load with their head, and since the load now falls on a larger area of the head, the pressure on the head is reduced and it becomes easier to carry the heavy load. Okay, porters place a thick round piece of cloth on their heads when they have to carry heavy loads. By doing this, they increase the area of contact of the load with their head, so the pressure on their head is reduced and they will find it easier to carry the load. Okay, you just have to remember that pressure is equal to what? Pressure is equal to force by area, right? So by placing a thick round piece of cloth, by placing the thick round piece of cloth, the porter is increasing the area, they are increasing the area of contact of the load with their head. So if the area is increased, then the pressure will get reduced. Why? Because they are inversely proportional to each other. Pressure and area are inversely proportional, right? So if the area is increased, then what happens? The same force is acting on the if the same force is acting on a larger area, then the pressure will get reduced. Okay, if the area is increased, then the pressure will get reduced, then the porter will find it easier to carry the heavy load. Clear? Yes. So this is the answer of question number 12. Okay, and that's all for today. In the next video, I will be providing you the long answer type questions from this chapter, and then only this chapter will be completed fully. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.